all for the kids. That was the motto by which former Highlands School principal Susan Stuckey lived her life. Even through her almost 4-year battle with cancer, Stuckey stayed positive and taught her students lessons that they couldn't learn from a textbook. After her recent passing, I spoke with the people who knew Susan in all aspects of her life and learned about the impact she left on everyone she touched. When those who knew Susan Stuckey share their memories of her, you hear about her Illini superfan status, her positivity and bravery in the face of cancer, and, most importantly, her dedication and passion for elementary education. Stuckey received her degree in education in 1985 from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, and her master's from Illinois State. She taught for 2 years before becoming a principal in Roselle. Then in 1996, Stuckey came to Naperville after being hired by District 203 as the principal of Ranchview Elementary. Maureen Dvorak was Ranchview's home and school president at that time.
She was an amazing breath of fresh air to our building. She was just what the doctor ordered, and we knew we had a good one when she walked in the door.
After 2 years, Stuckey assumed leadership of Highlands School near downtown, where parents were very pleased with their new principal.
Susan was like the whole package. She was so committed to those kids and so professional, but she also had such a personal side to her. So, she knew every kid's name, every student's name, every parent's name.
Former District 203 principal Kitty Ryan, who now works as the district's assistant superintendent for elementary education, admired Stuckey's ability to create a child-focused school so quickly.
Her slogan, her motto was all for the kids, and for her it really was. And so it's wonderful to say you have high test scores, but if you're not focused on the children, then it's all for nothing. And she really was able to do that.
It was her students that inspired Susan every day, and that feeling was mutual.
She has nice hair. Whenever she sees me, she says hi to me. Mrs. Stuckey is very smiley.
Stuckey's All for the Kids mantra was even apparent to her youngest students.
She always remembered our names, like every kid's name at school. Like when she would be walking past a first grader, she'd be like, "Hi, Susie," or something, like whatever the kid's name was, and it was really cool.
We have a wide, diverse range of students here at Highlands, and they know that this is a place where they're going to feel important, counted, and valued. Susan made sure she knew all those kids coming in every day, and it always impressed the kids. They would say to me, "Oh, she remembered me."
Former Highlands student Emily Joswiak remembers how special Stuckey made her feel.
When I was in first grade, I think, I made Mrs. Stuckey in art, just a picture, and it was Highlands is the best school, and there's a picture of a little whale on it. And she put it in her office, and when I went back last year to see her, it was still hanging up in there. And she just kept it in there for all that time. It was really nice.
Every student who learned in a school led by Stuckey will remember their birthday book and their special one-on-one time they shared with her.
She had an office full of books that generally home and school would purchase for her, and the students got to come down and choose whatever book that they wanted for their birthday.
It was just so special. On your birthday, you'd go down there, and it wasn't just a fast thing. You'd sit there, talk to her, get to pick out your book, and she'd put a big sticker in the cover and say, on your blank birthday, and then your name, and then she'd write her name. It was just really special.
Stuckey realized early on at Highlands that by encouraging parent involvement, she could enrich the education of her students. She helped grow their School Family Community Partnership, or SFCP, into what it is today.
There was a lot of clarification between homeschool and SFCP. SFCP is designed to support the school improvement plan. And Susan really embraced that, defined the two groups, hand-selected parents to be part of the group, and we just took and slowly added programs. Highlands was kind of one of the pilot schools.
Parents had a place at the table, teachers had a place at the table, and not only a place at the table, but real responsibilities. So not just what did they think, but what were they willing to do in order to make those things that they wished to have happen at that school realized. She was really masterful at doing that.
Under her leadership, Highlands School earned the National Blue Ribbon Award in 2011 from the U.S. Department of Education, as well as the Partnership School Award from the National Network of Partnership Schools at Johns Hopkins University.
She was one of those people who talked the talk and walked the walk. She led from the front. She always had a clear vision of what she wanted us to do, but she brought us along and helped us see that vision was the great path for our school.
Even though Stuckey knew where she wanted to take Highlands in the future, she really valued the views and opinions of parents.
It's amazing feeling to know how much she values you, and she made sure you knew how valued you were.
She was just very active and very adamant that the parents need to be a part of their children's learning, and she did a great job of getting the parents into the school, being a part of the school, knowing what those kids needed.
Not only was Stuckey a proud Highlands whale, but she was also a die-hard University of Illinois Fighting Illini fan, giving Highlands families a chance to get to know her more personally outside of school.
She was a big Illini fan, and we would go to a couple tailgates a year, but she with her family were at every Illinois home football game.
Beyond those fond memories, one tangible legacy Stuckey leaves behind is the Team Stuckey Educator Scholarship Fund, established in 2012. With her husband Jeff fighting his own battle with diabetes and her diagnosis with breast cancer, the Stuckeys wanted to give back.
I think Susan was always aware of how ill she was. She and her husband were looking for a way to sort of channel the energy that people had around her and around her illness. And they, of course, her love for education made her focus on a scholarship.
The fund awards $5,000 to 2 District 203 students majoring in education.
I was hoping that would pass forward my love for education and to new people that will be educated to be teachers and making a difference.
To help pay for the scholarship, the community has rallied around the Stuckeys. Highlands has played host to the 1.5-mile Walk for Well Wishes fundraiser. The walk helped demystify cancer for her students and the entire Highlands community, teaching everyone the power of positivity.
You can feel down, or you can look at the bright spots and take all the good, positive news you get and roll with that.
After her passing on January 8th, those who knew Stuckey are celebrating her life and remembering her bravery and grace that the cancer could never take away.
She will leave a lasting impact on my life and the life of this Good Shepherd community, the life of the whole surrounding Naperville community. We are better people because God created Susan.
When I think about Susan Stuckey, I think about a person who wasn't given the gift of a long life, but somebody who used every minute of her life to do important things. I wish she had had more years, but boy, I don't know anybody that ever used their years better than she did.
I'm Whitney Goodbread for Naperville News Extra.